A lot of people don't know the story of the Buffalo Soldiers, but they had a hand in really helping settle the West. They were formed right after the Civil War in 1866, and they came out toward Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico in 1867.
Many of them were former slaves. Others had proudly fought in that war between the states. But in the time of Reconstruction,
they protected pioneers as they moved out west from the east, but they also protected those laying the railroad. They protected those who were laying telegraph.
They were given the name Buffalo Soldiers by Native Americans who said their hair resembled that of a buffalo's and revered the black cavalry troops for how hard they fought in battle.
It's not just a story about black history because they are black soldiers. There's a lot of contributions they've made to the overall historical picture of who we are as a society.
Those contributions are what first intrigued Bob Snead in 1956.
He was a very young man, very new into the military himself, and he didn't know anything about them, and he had seen a movie and then went to his superior officer and asked him about who are these men in blue, and these cavalrymen, specifically the 9th and 10th Cavalry, and his superior officer said, well, there's history about him. You need to go research it.
And as a self-taught artist, what Snead learned, he then put on canvas.
I think even Dad at his early age didn't know the bounds of his talent and what it could bring.
What it brought us was a collection of paintings, all done by Snead and done to document a history forgotten and even unknown by some.
The whole point of him doing the collection is because he said the story of the Buffalo Soldiers needed to be told, and it wasn't being told.
I think Dad used his platform to open up the eyes and ears of the world to this group of soldiers that went highly unrecognized for a lot of their history.
From now until November, a small portion of Snead's collection is now on display at the Museum of Texas Tech.
There are 167 pieces in the Buffalo Soldier exhibit, but it has never shown together in its entirety. As he would paint some, he would exhibit them. If anybody liked them, then he would sell them.
Two of Snead's children, Karen and Chris, are both Texas Tech alums and say that finally getting the collection to Lubbock has been a long time coming.
This is indeed, for me, it's a watershed moment for me. It is a moment that I've been looking forward to for literally half of my life.
My dad did not paint paintings to hang on his wall. He painted paintings so others could see and enjoy not only the art, but the stories that he was telling, the history that they were learning. It would have been a travesty for us to just keep these paintings to ourselves in these private collections.
Snead served his country well like the men he painted, serving 4 tours in Vietnam as a decorated helicopter pilot, earning Purple Hearts, Bronze Stars, and a Master Aviator badge. But he always had a true passion for the arts, working as one of the designers of the Texas State Quarter and being appointed to the Texas Commission on the Arts, the same body that his own daughter is now the chair of.
I want people to come in, see these paintings, know this history, walk away and say, you know, I learned something about my past that influences my life today.
Bob Snead passed away back in 2020 at the age of 84 and was buried at the Arlington National Cemetery. While he isn't able to see his exhibit in person, his family tells us they'll do whatever they can to make sure his work lives on.
Now that this time is here, that we can share this with our Texas Tech and our Lubbock community, it's extremely exciting and gratifying to me.
And this is our love letter back to him to say, Dad, we were going to continue telling that story on your behalf.